secret, without the president's counsel there, without the ability to cross-examine witnesses, without the ability for the American people to see the evidence that they're collecting. It really is an appalling miscarriage of justice, a miscarriage of their constitutional duties and obligations, and it is something that the American people are going to long remember. It's a dangerous thing for our republic to be in a process where the votes of 63 million Americans are being nullified in an attempt by the Democrats to unseat President Trump, driven by their hatred for this president and their partisan determination to try to do what they can't do at the ballot box. In order to talk in some more detail about the kinds of abuses that we're seeing, about what we're seeing in the committee, we have two Republican members of the Intel Committee with us this morning to give you some more specifics on what's happening and what's not happening. And with that, I'd like to turn things over to the gentlewoman from New York, Ms. Stefanik.
Thank you, Chairwoman Cheney. Elise Stefanik, I represent New York's 21st Congressional District. I'm in my third term. This is my second term on Intelligence Committee. I wanted to echo what Liz mentioned. This has been a closed-door, unfair, and unprecedented process. Tens of millions of Americans should know that their member of Congress has had no access to any of the transcripts. In fact, no member has been able to read every transcript, and let me tell you why. There have only been two transcripts that have made available to Intelligence Committee members. The first is Kurt Volker's, the second is Ambassador Yovanovitch's. We were notified this week at our staff level that they would only be printing one transcript for every single member, whether you're on the committee or not, and you would have to read it with a member of Democratic staff. That is unprecedented and unfair. Again, this.
So I just wanted to comment there quickly. You would only be able to read it with a member of Democratic staff present for you to view that document. You know, the things going on in the States, Trump is absolutely correct. What they're doing is disgraceful, the Democrats. Essentially, I believe they're doing everything in their power to impede his ability to govern. And I don't know what legal precedents can be made on behalf of the president to hold these people to account, i.e., Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff, for lying to Congress and lying to the media and the public by extension. I don't know how many Americans are, deeply aware of it or intimately aware of it. I don't know how many Americans can go in and examine the documents, but I hope a lot. Essentially, for myself, speaking only for myself, I've read the Ukrainian transcripts and so on, and I mean, it's exactly the way Trump described it. And in hindsight, Trump completely cooperated to make things transparent. Let's say the mark of an innocent person. Okay, so you're trying to accuse me. Okay, here's my evidence. There's the phone calls. I'll make everything transparent for you to prove my innocence. Trump did that. In spite of that, a fake document was leaked to Congress through Adam Schiff. For all we know, he fabricated that document as well as the whistleblower. But what I'm seeing is that the Democrats are using their power, their influence, to try to impeach Trump by hook or by crook. It doesn't matter the circumstances. This is just the next attack, and so it saddens me to see that. Anyway, let's continue on.
This is coming from, I sit on the Intelligence Committee. I strongly believe that every member of Congress should have access to every single transcript, because the question begs, how are these members talking about this in their district? How are they so sure the Democratic support of impeachment when they don't have access to the very evidence in this closed process. And I also believe that every transcript should be released to the American public. We continue to see press reports of cherry-picked excerpts or portions from transcripts. That's breaking the rules, but I believe that this should be transparent. It's not a political game. This is a very, very serious process, and Chairman Schiff is unfit to chair the Intelligence Committee, and these are many of the process reasons why.
So I applaud her for concisely saying that, you know, there's a lot of things going on, but there you have it. The Democrats try to limit the view of the public. They don't cooperate with transparency. They don't let the American public have the transcripts. They will monitor anybody. A Democratic candidate will monitor any member of Congress who is trying to view the transcript. It's extremely, extremely corrupt. That's all I can say. That's what I conclude. I will allow the clip to continue on a little further, but I'm deeply saddened by it because, I mean, as far as I know, Trump has fully cooperated with every investigation that they've thrown at him. And despite this, he keeps being smeared by the Democrats harder and harder, you may say. If the impeachment process, which I doubt will succeed, but it's not designed to succeed. It's designed to distract the American public and sow doubt with people, and give the Democrats some kind of ammunition come election. Well, we're already on the election trail, but give the Democrats some fake scandals to throw at Trump when they have nothing. Just honestly, they have nothing. It's simple as that.
I will turn it over to my colleague, Mike Turner.
Thank you, Elise. There is nothing more extreme or a greater threat to democracy than when Congress undertakes an impeachment process. It is absolutely essential that to preserve democracy that we have an impeachment process that is open and transparent, where the American public can see what is occurring. And here today, we have an impeachment process that's occurring in secret, without any real action that is even happening from the House. The House has not taken action to open an impeachment process, nor has any committee, nor has the House taken a vote for the process to be undertaken in secret. We have an unbelievable abusive process that is occurring. But in addition to it being secret, where the American public does not have the ability to watch the witnesses or those who are questioning them, each member, in the manner in which they have structured this, is restrained, who does have access to the information, from telling anyone anything that's happening behind closed doors. I am prevented from going to my constituency in Ohio and telling them what's happening behind closed doors in the Intelligence Committee, of which I'm a member. As the media reports news leaks of what has occurred, many of which are absolutely inaccurate and false, members of Congress have no ability to stand in front of you and give you the correct information so that you can report it. I do not believe that we should be left to wait for transcripts, or that the American public should be depending upon leaks from those who have undertaken this process. Everyone should have the opportunity to see every aspect of this proceeding. Iran-Contra, Richard Nixon's impeachment process, the Bill Clinton impeachment process, all happened where the American public, not just members of Congress, the American public had the opportunity to witness every aspect of it. As Elise had said earlier, what's also troubling is that even though I can, as a member of the Intelligence Committee, complain about the restrictions on my ability to report what I know, many of members of Congress know nothing, because the way that this is being conducted, members are not giving access to the hearings themselves. They're not given access to the transcripts. Many of those who are walking through these halls, who are telling you they are either for or against impeachment, have no access to the information that's necessary for them to come to that conclusion.
So that's very interesting. Members of Congress don't have any information to let them make the proper decision on impeachment. So this is just an example again of the Democrats exerting their power to abuse their power and to try to narrow the scope of focus so that they can impeach Trump. Many of these many of these cases are commensurate with a dictatorship, and I can say that for the Democrats. That's what, at least historically speaking, under Obama, that's what they had, a dictatorship, and limited on information divulged by the government. The Democrats never change. It's time for new blood in the Democratic Party, I tell you. Pelosi and the rest of them, Schiff especially, should be held to account for their fake actions, for their lying to the public and so on. It's an absolute disgrace.
Being done in secret and is absolutely a violation.
So I just would like to conclude. This case in the U.S. is very troubling to me, because as far as I can tell, Trump is doing everything in his power to try to lead his nation to greatness. And I believe that. No president could come in with that kind of support and didn't believe in that message. Make America great again. It's a simple slogan, but it sums up Trump very nicely and his policies. That's all he's done since he's become president. His enemy is not really abroad. It's here at home. He can handle the international politics very, very easily. But it is such a shame that Trump has to go on impeded by the fake media in his own country and corruption existing among the Democrats that seek to destroy what he's building, or at the very least distract the public and impede his ability to govern as much as they can, i.e. the wall, for example. It isn't that much money that he was demanding for the wall, but nevertheless, the Democrats, they stopped it in the House, and the proposal was put away. And Trump even stayed the entire weekend to try to push it through. He didn't go home the entire week. He was at the White House waiting for the decision to pass through. I mean, I hope the American people are very much aware of the Democrat machinations, and they sense the dishonorable intentions behind it, and people like these three, I'm happy that they come in front of the press and speak and attest to the corruption that's going on behind the scenes that the public doesn't know, and the fact that the Democrats are trying their best to hold back members of government from divulging what they know to the public, and even to members of Congress itself, withholding information even among members, and holding them to a very strict guideline about what they're allowed to say, what they're not allowed to say, so to speak. And I mean, it's commensurate with a dictatorship, a Democrat dictatorship. And all they do all day is dream up ways to attack Trump. It's true. And I hope that the Democrats do get fresh blood in the party, because that's what they need. They need people who are more honorable. And I hope that, by extension, I hope Trump wins again, and wins even more than he did last time, because it's, to me, the media bias and especially the dishonorable intent of the Democratic Party is the real enemy of this nation. And essentially the Democrats have failed to produce evidence and have succeeded in trying to limit the transparency as much as they can concerning these impeachment inquiries. So I thank you for your time, and have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.